I kind of just want to chat about how my reading style has changed. I grew up reading fantasy and like kids fantasy mystery stuff, and I love fantasy. Fantasy gives me a feeling when I read that is elite escapism. It's top tier. You can't beat it. It's incredible. But I'm 30 now. I turned 31 in September, and I find myself gravitating more and more toward just fiction, like literary fiction, and not fantasy. And I still love fantasy and sci-fi. It's so interesting to me because I can feel my interest changing, and that's never happened for me before. I've been a very like content person reading fantasy. And when I moved here to Chicago, I moved into a neighborhood called Lakeview, and it's a very artsy, creative place there, especially relative to like what I came from in Louisiana. So I got here and I was in my master's program for English Lit, which I'm still in, but there was a lot of required reading for it that I thought would be interesting to get through with other people that may want to read the same thing, and then we could meet up and talk about it for like a book club meeting. So I made this master list of like literary fiction that included some things from my classwork and then some things that I was just interested in, and then I went through a bunch of like literary awards and like what had won for the past 2 or 3 years, and even the short and long list for those awards, and made a giant list, which I still add to if I find like new, like we just finished 2024, so like all of the book influencers posted their like best books of 2024 videos, and I keep adding to the list, and the goal was to get me to read more literary fiction, and it has happened. Myself and the other people in the book club that are able to like keep up monthly or not, even every other month, just sporadically, whatever. It's been so interesting to like read these things with people that I've become friends with, that I get to hang out with like once a month at least, you know, and talk to about these books that we've read. And my love for literary fiction has gone from like maybe 10% and 90% fantasy when I first moved here, honestly, to a 50-50. I'm thrilled to have my TBR for 2025 contain so much literary fiction when 2 years ago it was all fantasy and maybe a memoir or two, like Jeanette McCurdy's memoir of the I'm Glad My Mom Died. I'm just so excited about it, and it's so cool to like be cognizant of the change that's happening and to be able to embrace it. I'm very excited about it, but it feels kind of weird. Have you had this happen before? Just let me know. I would love to hear.